Find great multifamily deals. Hey everyone, welcome to this week's video. Today we're talking about one of my favorite subjects, how to find great multifamily deals. If you're able to find great deals, then that's just going to set you up for a lot of success over your investing career. But if you ask a lot of investors, how do you find deals? The most common answer I get is, well, I know a good broker, he sends me deals. And you got to think, unless you're a big fish, uh, if you work with a really good broker, that's great, but you're probably not going to be the top of the line when a good deal comes along. They're going to pass it to other investors who they've had track record with, and you're also just limited by that one broker and the deals that they can find. So I'm going to go through a lot of ways that you can get deals both on market and off market yourself. So you're not just relying on waiting for your phone to ring or sitting by your inbox waiting for a deal to come through. You can actually forcefully go out there and try and find the deal yourself. Now, all of these things on the list, the main takeaway from it is you got to be doing something different that no one else or very few other people are doing. If you're doing the same thing as everyone else, you're not going to get superior results. So you need to be creative, and you need to be forceful and follow through. So that's an important note when thinking about all of these. So let's dive into it. First one, identify a strong up and coming broker. So I'm not saying best broker in the area or the broker that does the most deals. Those people already have their list of buyers. You may be in contact with them. They may send you deals, but you're probably not going to be first choice. So you want to go look for a broker who's maybe young or newer to the industry, but they're hustling, they're out there, they're trying to make things happen. And you could very well be their number one buyer contact. They don't have a huge Rolodex of sellers or buyers. And if you treat them well, you're respectful of their time, you ask good questions, they're going to come to you with their deals. And as they grow in their career, you're also going to grow and be picking up more properties. So that's a good one. You want to find the right up and coming broker. And it's tough to spot sometimes, but they're definitely out there. And that's a very good start to the list we're going through right now. Second one, search for stale on market deals. So if you go onto LoopNet or Crexy, a lot of people just want to see the new deals that have come out. Now it's a fallacy, and people have seen this happen to myself. You kind of think, oh, I already know everything that's on the market. I've looked through it, so I'm only going to put my filter to deals that have come up in the last 3 days or 7 days. And what you don't realize unless you do a full sweep all the time is that there's actually a lot of stale deals sitting out there in plain sight. You've just got so used to seeing them pop up and emails and that you don't actually realize a lot of them may have price drops. A lot of them may creep up. Their income may be creeping up and actually turning a not so great deal into a pretty good deal. So looking when you put your filter on, try filter 6 months and out, deals that have been sitting for 6 months and longer. That separates you from 95% of the people searching for these on-market deals. So do something different to everyone else is the takeaway. Here's another one, MLS listings. People automatically assume that most commercial deals, most multifamily deals are going to come on LoopNet, going to be on Crexy. There's actually a lot of deals sitting just on the residential side of the MLS. You're not going to find 200 unit properties there, but definitely anything from 6 to 24 units. I've seen it being posted on the MLS and associated residential sites, and they're not appearing in commercial platforms. So that could be a really good in where a lot of your competitors in the commercial industry aren't seeing these deals because they're on the MLS. So again, thinking outside the box a little bit. Bank REO relationship. This obviously takes a bit of track record, but it is a longer term thing. But if you can start making connections with the banks who are doing a lot of lending in your local area, so maybe go to a community bank that seems pretty, I would say, they're involved in lending to multifamily properties. When there is a downturn in the market, they're going to have some foreclosures on their books. And if you're keeping in mind with them, they're going to send them to you. So definitely a bit of a trickier and longer work to get these deals this way. But again, you got to be willing to do what others aren't. And when that time comes, you can get some very, very good deals from these bank REO relationships. Direct mailing. Most people associate this with residential listings, and you pretty much just pray and spray. You're just sending it out to every house in the neighborhood. Direct mailing in multifamily is a bit different. It's a bit more targeted. So you need to first get a list of multifamily owners. You don't want to send to everyone because most people, probably 99% of people, don't own a multifamily building. So that's just a straight up waste. So you can get a list from Reonomy, from CoStar. There are people selling lists, and yeah, are they 100% accurate? No. Even if they're just 70% accurate, again, you're doing something. I get very, very few direct mails regarding multifamily, so it's an easy way to separate yourself from what everyone else is doing, and really, it's targeted towards actual known multifamily owners, not just sending out tens of thousands to every house in the neighborhood. So it's actually probably going to be more economical as well. Craigslist. No one thinks about Craigslist. Most people think of Craigslist for trading things, buying things, maybe if you're looking for a roommate or housing. But again, very few people look on there, and you'd be surprised to see there are actually some multifamily listings on Craigslist. Some owners just don't want to go through an agent, and for some reason they put it on Craigslist. How many investors do you know are actively looking on Craigslist? So that's one easy way you can separate yourself and do something different is every week or so, just have a peek on Craigslist, see what people are trying to sell. Auctions. Now we all know there's auction sites, 10x, LoopNet. There are some other auction sites out there. The online ones are great, and you should monitor them. It should be on your list of weekly activities to monitor the auction properties that come up. But there are also auctions that are happening in person, the old school way, in your local area. Do you know about them? Do you know about specific auctions? If the answer is no, then that's great news because I guarantee you there are. It's just a case that you haven't heard about them because maybe they're not widely publicized. Maybe you haven't signed up to the right mailing list. Maybe you're just not in the right circles of people that know about these. But if you can go to these in-person auctions, your competition is going to be severely restricted because it hasn't been widely advertised like an online auction platform such as 10x. So think about auctions, especially in-person ones. Newspaper, I love this one. If you think about it, what is the typical demographic of a seller, an individual seller? They're not 21 years old. Typically, they're going to be in an older bracket. And that's a lot of these people don't use computers. They don't use the internet. I'm not trying to disparage any older people that are not using those methods, but how are they going to sell their property? There's a lot of ways they can do that. And a lot of people read the newspaper. They look at listings on the newspaper. Sometimes they want to sell it without an agent and just put an ad in the newspaper. You could put an ad in it yourself saying, hey, I buy multifamily properties, would love to meet, and see if they call you up. That's something I don't see too much of, but if you think about it, it makes a lot of logical sense. And it kind of leads into our next one, FSBO listings, for sale by owner. Now, some really good FSBO sites. FSBO.com is one of them. That really are looking for sellers who don't want to use an agent and they think, hey, I'm just going to advertise my property where I can. If someone looks on it, great. These websites for multifamily don't get a lot of traction. And what you're seeing a trend in is people doing residential properties, houses, A lot of people will go through a lot of these things we've already listed above, but when it comes to multifamily, for some reason, people get a little less creative. They just kind of rely on their brokers. They might have a flick through LoopNet and Crexi, but that's about the extent of it. These are some really different alternate ways you can go about it. And the last one we have here is property management companies. So this is a great example of a mutually beneficial relationship. You're an investor, you probably want to build out your either your own property management company or at first have a professional property management company managing your properties. So these property management companies are definitely going to want to talk to you. They're going to want to create a relationship with you because that's potential business if you do end up buying properties. And I've seen it go the other way um, you know, where an investor has a great relationship with their property manager, the property manager can then say, "Hey, this property, I've been in communication with this the owner. It looks like they're thinking about selling. I think this could be a great fit for you." And then for you personally, it's like, hey, if you buy this property, you already have your property manager in place. So there's a lot of synergies there, and I'll say that's actually a really, really good one that I would underline is property management companies and just forming relationships with them and treat them well, keep contact up regularly, and you're going to be rewarded. So the final point I'll make about all of these is that there is no one way that's going to consistently just bring you in great deal after great deal. A lot of this is casting a wide net. You have to be doing a lot of things, and you have to be doing a lot of things that other people aren't doing. You can't expect to get great results by doing what everyone else is doing. So you're casting a wide net. Some of these you want to go really deeply with if you do choose to go down the path. You can't be surface level. A lot of these ones you can do in very short period of time. Craigslist, MLS searches, searching for stale on market deals. They don't have a ton of time commitment, but you have to be consistent with it. You can't be, you do it really hard for 1 week and then you don't do anything for a month. That's not going to get you where you need to go. So that's what we have for today. How to find great multifamily deals. It's not an exhaustive list. You could literally come up with dozens of other techniques. It's just a question of what can you commit to and how consistent you can be with it. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in the next one.